This is Bill Gates' chart, and I wanted to show the difference between charts with extra aspects and without. And so what you see on the left is just the big planets, the original planets, and then on the right, I added different things in than just the normal planets. But when you pull up a chart in Astro.com, the Placidus system, it only shows the original planets, and then you have to add things in. And I put it in on AstroSeek and got the extra planets so that I didn't have to go back and forth. Anyway, this is Bill Gates, and right away you see over to the left with his ascendant, he has Uranus conjunct his ascendant, or pretty close to his ascendant. It's in his first house, and it is unusual, odd energy, and so that's pretty much rules his chart, this unusual, odd energy. Having most of the planets down on the bottom is considered a more introverted personality, and so he has that. He has a basket configuration with everything opposite his moon. Um, um, basket means most of the planets are, in a little half moon on the bottom, like a basket with a handle, and above the handle is the moon. So that's emotions, and his moon is in Aries, which is your energy and temperament, and can be an angry it handles emotions, impulsive, any kind of moods that you have. The moon rules, and in Aries it's a more impulsive energy, and it's more focused on the self and self-identity. So his emotions are very, very self-centered thinking, and then with all the introverted energy down on the bottom, very self-involved person. And his moon is opposite of Mars, the ruler of Aries, and Mercury, the ruler of communications, in his fourth house. And also he has that's those two. And then he has Neptune in that same house, and they're all in Libra. And so he has this ambivalent energy where his temper and his communication and his unconscious motivations are, because Libra is an ambivalent. It can be ambivalent. It can be have feelings of what is just and right, and it can be a more flirtatious sign. It can be outgoing, but because it's in his house of home, the fourth house is the house of home. It's all this energy that he has of communications and his self-image, because Mars rules the self-image and Mercury rules the communications. He's very identifies himself with home, and unconscious. It's an unconscious motivation to to be centered from home. And actually, his sun is also in the fourth house, even though it's in Scorpio, where the other three are in Libra. And the sun being in Scorpio with Saturn, and Saturn rules government over structures and rigid thinking, or regimented structures. It takes formative, the unformed into formation. It structures things, and so he is it's conjunct Venus, which rules the money that you bring in through your own efforts, and being in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio rules money that comes to you from outside sources. And so he's real regimented in his way of dealing with money, and both from his own efforts, through his own efforts, and with other people's, obtaining other people's money. He is very focused on that, and it's connected to depth and sexuality, and I mean, it's connected to the house of death, sexuality, and transformations, and the occult. It's the house also ruling psychology. So psychologically, he's connected to other people's money, and money. And then he has some opposition from the ruler of Scorpio, and an easy aspect to his imagination. With this is the easy aspect to his imagination, with to Neptune. Neptune's this one. And then the more negative aspects from up here, from Uranus to his, Uranus is explosive energy or unusual energy, and that's opposition, I mean, a tense aspect to the sun, and which rules his ego and pride, and is how he shows up, his creativity, his sense of entertainment, has an opposition, I mean, that tense aspect, and also his unconscious motivations, which Neptune rules. So there's that tense aspect there. But now Pluto, back over here to Pluto. Pluto is in Leo, and Leo is your ego and sense of pride, and how you entertain yourself and express. And it's his is in the second house of other people's money, so he's in possessions, luxuries, food, what you obtain through your own efforts. That's the house of values, and so that's again death, sex, rebirth, transformation, psychology, and it's enhanced by Jupiter, and even his philosophies and his psychology are all wrapped up in the second house of money and values, And so he's very focused on money, and his values are secretive. I mean, his approach to money is very secretive with both the planet. I mean, uh, yeah, Pluto is secrets, and so is Scorpio. So he's got a lot of energy in Scorpio and a lot of energy and wrapped up in his ego in the second house of money. And this explosive energy on his ascendant, which is unusual, odd, ingenious even. Uh, he has some ingenuity, uses ingenuity, and now his north node is in Sagittarius, and it's a fire sign, and so is his moon in a fire sign, and so is his uh, Uranus and Pluto and Jupiter in fire signs. So it can be a lot of energy toward quick temper, but with, and the ruler of Sagittarius, his north node is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules long distance and foreign communications and effect on uh, foreign, and effect on philosophy, effect on religion, effect on it rules the higher mind. So that's North Node is where your destined path is meant to go, and so uh, he, it appears like a uh, a magnanimous looking effect, like he's supposed to be a philanthropist, and uh, that's how he's supposed to go to, and away from his own, away from partners, away from being affected by partnerships, and more toward um, affecting foreign matters and long distance matters and things far away and things that affect the higher mind and higher education. And I don't know, he has his hand in everything, so I mean, to do with food, and I'm just trying to think how it fits in with his the way that I perceive him, and it really is kind of confusing. So he has a lot of empty houses. The sixth house is ruled by the restrictive sign of Capricorn, and that's ambition, but seeking power and money and status, and that's your work house where the daily tasks and so forth. So seeking money and power and status is his work, and it also affects health. And then having Aquarius ruling his eighth house of sex and death and rebirth and transformations, and his house of relationships and partnerships. So he might have unusual or ingenious connections to both other people's money, obtaining other people's money, and having partnerships and partners that are with people or that are unusual, odd, or ingenious, or rebellious, or revolutionary, or any of that. And then he has Pisces ruling his ninth house of foreign and long distance exchanges and travel and so forth. And so unconsciously, his unconscious motivations are connected to long distance in his higher mind, thinking long, thinking with the higher mind. He is unconsciously motivated to think that way. And uh, then I've already spoken about the moon in Aries, and that rules his 10th house of career, and so a lot of energy toward what he feels is his career, and his emotions are invested there. And then, and it's partially ruled by Taurus, which rules the money through your own efforts, which ties in with all that focus on money down below. And then, I mean, Taurus rules other people's money, the house of other people's money. I mean, money through your own efforts, not other people's money. Rules your values, and so his values are affecting both his career house and also the 11th house of Aquarius normally rules that house, and it's the house that rules society at large. So he has communications, Gemini, the communications sign, ruling a portion of his house of society at large, and his communications would be kind of odd because that's the house of Aquarius, which rules the odd and unusual. Could be unusual or ingenious communications, and then Taurus rules the voice, and so speaking about things that affect society at large would be affecting that house. And then he has Cancer ruling his house of unconscious motivations, the 12th house there. And that's a water sign, which water signs are all intuitive. They have undercurrent of intuition going at all times. So, and also that one, Cancer, rules the home and his mother and nurturer, main nurturer. So he has a lot of energy in that 4th house already. I already spoke about his the Mars, Mercury, and Neptune, and the Sun all in the 4th house, and this ties in his unconscious motivations are towards pleasing someone from home, and or pleasing whatever energy he has from home. And Mars rules males, and Capricorn rules the father. Now Mars is in that house of home, and Saturn is in the 5th house of how he expresses in his ego, and that rules the father. So maybe he had a good relationship with his father because it's conjunct with Venus, and Venus is love. So, um, or maybe yeah, I think that's a way to read it. Um, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. There's negative and positive, and you can interpret it. It depends on the astrologer how they interpret it. You can, I mean, I hope that what I read wasn't biased completely. Um, his MC at the top is how you're perceived, and so that's how you're perceived by public. And uh, in Aries, that's usually someone that's perceived as being alone a lot. And his IC down at the bottom is in Libra, so he may have a lot of mixed feelings about things, or he may think he is trying to be a just and fair person in his core identity of himself. I mean, in his roots, that's what maybe he was taught, that what was fair and just. But some of the other things, he's so focused on obtaining money, it looks like. But I was wanting to figure out the tie with the possession of money. I mean, of not only money, but water rights and buying farms, and I'm not sure how to look at that for that. Up at the top, Taurus rules land and your resources, your things that you obtain through your own efforts, and that's in the 11th house. Know how to tie that in. Anyway, thanks for listening. I think that's enough mumbling around. I might look at it another time and think something completely different. Oh, I didn't even look at the other side with all the other things added. Dark taboo, Lilith is in foreign, he had some kind of affair with a foreigner, and so yeah, that's shown. In Sagittarius is the long distance and foreign affairs and communications, and he had a taboo affair with some foreigner. And let me see what else. Oh, Chiron is on his descendant, and so that's hidden. I mean, open enemies. He attracts open enemies, but he can't heal himself where it comes to feeling like he's got good partners. He doesn't trust people, I don't think. Or he has a lot of weird partners or something, or an odd outlook on his partnerships, maybe. And yeah, I don't think he feels that he can trust anyone completely. I guess that's enough. I'm kind of going over in my head what I'm seeing, and I'm not seeing anything new or interesting to point out. So, anyway, thanks for listening.